Are you tired of sitting on the sidelines watching opportunities pass you by? You know you have what it takes, but something's missing. It could be doubt, confidence, or fear that you're not representing your best self. Whatever it is, it stops now. It's time to align your passion with your purpose and seize the opportunities that await you. I want to see you get back in the game. So join me and my expert guests as we talk all things image, branding, and a bit of entrepreneurship. So if you're ready to gain insightful tips, tools, and strategies to help you amplify your presence and define your impact for greater success, sit with us as we talk about it. Welcome back to the Image Connection Show, where we go beyond the surface of style, presence, and branding to talk about what it takes to lead and live with impact. And today I have with me Alex Dumas. Alex is a professional speaker, international best-selling author. He's also a top 25 podcast host, and he is a strategic partner for CEO Confidence and Team Building. Wow, that's a lot, Alex. Welcome to the show, Alex. I'm glad to have you here.
Hey, great morning, Jenny. Thank you for inviting me. Excited to connect with you as your show is the Image Connection. So this is going to be a fun conversation.
It's going to be very fun. And then the confidence of this, your experience in confidence building, and then your own story, and what it took for you to be resilient enough to get through your circumstances and of course, build that confidence through that. It's a story worth telling too. But today, we want to talk about what the confidence and the challenges and what it takes to win in life and in leadership. And I want to start with you. You work with a specific group, right? And talk about what you notice in those groups that um, you serve. What you notice in lack of confidence or confidence in those groups.
Okay, I can see you. I can hear you. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. I missed your question or what you ever just said.
Yeah, so I was saying that you work with a specific group of individuals. Can you talk about what you notice most in those people that you serve? I guess regarding confidence or just in that leadership role? We are having some technical difficulties. Okay. Alex, well, this is how it is when you're doing live streaming. While Alex's connection is rebooting, today's confidence, I think it's going to be, excuse me, today's show is going is going to be really good. And then it also speaks to how we, have to how confidence is playing a role right here. We could easily shut this down and run away, but confidence and just bouncing back from certain situations like this are important. So, did you get my message? I mean, excuse me, my question, Alex. So this, I can see you. I
Okay.
can't hear you. Can you see or hear me?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you. So it's interesting because your screen is showing up and then mine is like doing the spin thing and kicking
And
me
it's
off.
yeah, and I don't see myself spinning here, but occasionally I'll see you spinning. But now things are good. Then you're frozen again. So So confidence, it is not something that comes naturally. I believe that we have to work. It's like a muscle. And the more we take action on something, the more confidence we have um, in life in general. In leadership, it takes confidence to lead. Takes confidence to take control of yourself, your life. It takes confidence to build something that you're unfamiliar with. And it takes confidence to do something like this when we know full well that sometimes things happen. Things don't always go as they should. And so, what do we do in times like this? Do we keep going, or do we just shut things down and run away in frustration or disappointment or even embarrassment? But no, we keep going and we try to work the things that. Here we are. And so
Um,
Alex here is a confidence expert. So I think we'll be able to now move on without any prejudice.
yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna log off of my computer here and no, even. Okay.
And
Can
then
you see me, hear me? All right. Are we
we
good, Jenny? Can you hear me?
we are good.
Okay, listen, this is what confidence is all about, right?
That's
Having
right. That's
the
right.
the commitment to follow through with this and get creative, some ingenuity and innovation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. To keep going. And so my question to you, we're gonna do it again. So welcome back to the Image Connection Show, where we're talking about confidence and resilience and how we overcome challenges in our lives and in our leadership roles. And so Alex,
Yeah.
you work with a specific group of people, from my understanding. And so can you talk about what you notice most in the people that you serve, their challenges and the confidence or lack thereof?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you for once again inviting me to the show and being patient and gracious with me and your team working
Absolutely.
behind the scenes. The individuals that I've been working with for the past few years have been what you
Mhm.
call Black, Indigenous people of color, or BIPOC for short. I like to call this the global majority, and that's ranged from individuals who've been in the coaching space, entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
others who are leading organizations through change. And the focus that I do is helping them build up their confidence, what I call unshakable confidence, because for so many of them, the challenge that they face is feeling like they're not heard, feeling like they're not seen,
Mhm.
feeling as if their stories don't matter, their voices don't matter. They have an innovative idea, but they kind of get like the alligator arms, like, oh, I don't know if I want to say this in this meeting. I
Mhm.
don't want to come off as angry black man, angry black woman, right? It's just all these unspoken and subliminal, subconscious
Sure.
fears and doubts. And when we do the work together, it's like, hey, I want to help them focus on the strengths they have, the value that they bring to the world, the creativity, right? And that shows up in a lot of ways. Like, how are you talking to your team? How are you uh, carrying yourself in a meeting? How are you show up on podcasts? Are you presenting yourself and letting people know that you are the expert in what you're doing,
Mhm.
so that they can trust you. They know they can rely on you. It's not a fluke. It's not a flash in the pan. Like, okay, this person shows up prepared each time. This is
Yeah.
how they carry themselves. This is how they deliver, and they
Mhm.
move forward that way.
Absolutely. And I was saying while we were going through our little glitch here, I was talking about how confidence is a muscle, and it builds with every action that we take. And also what we believe that our capabilities are. That's the foundation of it. We have to believe in ourselves in order to do those things, to walk into spaces that we're unfamiliar with, to, operate on a higher level when those
Yeah,
things are presented to us. Sometimes we feel like, oh wow, I'm not worthy of this space to
yeah,
be in this space. I'm not worthy of this position. And again, it's how we see ourselves. I can recall a time when I first started doing, working as an image consultant. I was invited into a room, and in this room, it was people that I'd never been around before. I mean, really high functioning professionals, really
yeah,
affluent people. And I had to, at that moment, I had to call my niece, which is, she worked in corporate at the time and she was very versus being in these kind of settings and telling her, well, listen, I don't, I'm a nervous wreck. I don't know if I can go in here. And she had to talk me through that, help me build a little confidence to get over that threshold to go in there and speak to these people. But once I got in there, what I realized is that they're people just like me. It doesn't matter what their economic status is. It doesn't matter what their roles are. They invited me in that room, so I belong there, right? And so
Yeah.
belonging, all I had to do was be myself and talk about the things that they were wanting me to talk about. I am the expert in what it is that I'm doing. They're the experts in what it is they're doing. So whatever I'm talking about is from my own experiences and my own level of expertise. And then the confidence to go in there. For me to go in that room, it opened up some doors for me, and it opened up opportunities that I thought, well, gosh, these people are not going to be, want to work with me or be bothered with me or want to listen to what I say. But it was just the opposite. It was just the opposite. So
Yeah.
I say that to say, um, again, confidence, all you have to do is take that. Well, one step is to take action and take action
Yeah.
every day. What do you say about like taking small actions to get you to where you want to be and just building that confidence muscle? Um, and then you think about the biggest challenges. Like I said, my biggest challenge was at that time going into spaces that I'm unfamiliar with and meeting people that don't look like me. As a matter of fact, in that situation, I was the only person in there that looked like
Mm.
me. So it's very intimidating. And do you think that the people that you worked with or in your own experience have faced challenges like this, or what might the biggest challenge be for the people that you serve in general? What do you consistently see that we all struggle with?
Yeah. Well, one, so like now to thank you for sharing that story. I think anyone watching this, listening to this, as you were sharing it, I'm thinking about my own path within the nonprofit space.
Mhm.
I worked with special needs individuals for a number of years and rose to management very quickly. I'm in my early 20s. So as you talk about being in rooms and not really being sure of yourself
Yeah.
or hesitant, yeah,
Mhm.
that's a real thing. And when we're not solid, when I mean
Mhm.
anchored and grounded in our own beliefs of who we are, our value that we can add, you kind of show in there like kind of wishy-washy, kind of like just kind of shaky, and
Mhm.
it's hard to enroll other people in your ideas and in your vision when you're not even comfortable with yourself. And that's something I come across with a lot of the clients I've worked with and teams I've been able to support. And I'll 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 demonstrate it this way, right?
Mhm.
I used to box as an amateur, right? So boom, 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 you're fighting,
Yes.
and kind of comparing this to corporate, right? If it's your first day on the job,
Mhm.
you're not going to go up to someone like you're not going to go to a VP, you're not going to go to the executive level like, hey, this is what I got to say, and
Mhm.
like you
Yeah.
work in the mailroom, guy, right? No offense, but like you're over here, you're maybe a customer service agent, whatever, like that. Same thing in the boxing gym. I'm not going to go into the ring and be like, all right, where's Floyd Mayweather? Where's Canelo Alvarez? Where's Terrence Bud Crawford? I'm ready to go at him. Like, do you know how to throw a jab? Do you know how to throw a right hand? Do you know how to block? Do you know how to
Mhm.
defend yourself?
Yes.
In the corporate sense, well, do you know how to articulate? I want to say an argument, but articulate a point. Are you
Mhm.
dressed? Do you know how to carry yourself? Just the visual aesthetic,
That's
right?
right.
These things build on it. It's just the way that you look, the way that you speak, it says volumes before you even walk into the room.
It does.
And
Absolutely.
having a reputation where people know that okay, this man, this woman, this individual here,
Mhm.
they mean business and they're also approachable,
Yeah.
right? And kind of going back to that thing I mentioned earlier, like, oh, I don't want to be perceived as the angry black man. Like you can carry yourself with confidence, with grace,
Mhm.
and be serious, but not to a degree where you're pushing people off. Where now you're like radioactive. There's oh
Yes.
my goodness, like I don't want to like even bring that up with them because like they're gonna snap on me. Like there's a way to work on these presentation skills. It might be enrollment in a Toastmasters club,
Mhm.
getting some coaching, getting some mentoring, having
Yeah.
somebody just role play some conversations with you
Mhm.
so that you're prepared versus emotion driving up, and you lash out, you say something you really didn't intend to say, but it's out there now. Words
Not
matter.
you
They stick to
can't take it
people,
back.
and yeah, you can't take them back.
Yeah, and you talked about boxing, and I failed to mention you yourself, and this is a little bit off of the confidence, but I do think you imparted some confidence skills in your music. So you're also a musician, and you have an
Yeah.
album. You're working on another. So talk about that
Oh,
just a bit.
yeah, yeah. So I'll preface this to call me a musician. That it's
Like,
I'm not Stevie Wonder at any point, no. But all jokes
Alex
aside, I love.
Dumas.
Yes, for the past few years, I've been making creating instrumental beats. So kind of jazzy, hip hop,
Mhm,
lo-fi kind of thing. So I released my first album several years ago, about 2 years ago. It was called Razor Sharp, and there's a whole backstory with that title and all that. And then uh, in August, sorry, yeah, I'm like, which
mhm,
month are we in? August, I released the second instrumental album, and it was just something I wanted to put onto the world. And when you talk about confidence as
mhm.
a performer, as an artist, and I air quote for myself, like I'm an artist, like, but
But you
when you
are.
put out something that the world is going to listen to, that they're going to potentially critique, that's scary. That's nerve wracking. It's like,
Yes.
well, I think it's good, but do you think it's good?
Yeah.
I like this idea, but do you see it? Do you see the vision? And I've
Mhm.
gotten some good feedback from people that know me, and even some individuals who I'm not close to it, but like, hey, I listened to your thing. I liked it. It was all right.
Mhm.
And sometimes you need
You do.
that little ounce of like, okay, I can do it,
And
right?
there's the confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're talking about music, but I'm gonna just tie this back in with my my work back in the nonprofit space. So when I started this work, I was 21, going on 22.
Okay.
And I remember being in an orientation where we're learning about all these different things because I started off as a direct support
Mhm.
professional. So that's really working hands on with these individuals with their daily living activities. So showering, dressing, brushing teeth, like everything we don't think about. We have to walk these individuals through this process. And I remember being in this orientation, it's like a week long thing. And I remember one day this gentleman pulled me aside at the end. He's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you." And I'm thinking, "Oh no, did I do something wrong?" I'm usually the class clown, goofy person, but I was really serious in this orientation because this is my first real job, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to have the reputation as the goofball. So
Yes.
he pulls me aside and he says, "Hey, Alex, I see something special in you. I think you're gonna have a successful career here."
Mm.
I'm like, "Oh, like, gee golly," like, you know what I mean? I feel like a little kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wow!" But with those words, I stood up a little taller. It's
Mhm.
like my back straightened up a little bit. I got a little bit of swag, a little
Yeah.
bounce in my step. And I say it as often that words matter, as in they
Mhm.
create everything around us. And when we speak life into people, when we are encouraging, acknowledging, and from a genuine place too, not just like, "Hey, you're so good," but
Yeah.
really tying in their attributes to what you can see and what they're going to do.
Mhm.
You create people, you really build them up. And that
Yes.
was one of the best things that ever happened for me.
Yeah, yeah. And you can only build another up when you're confident in who you are. So if you're not
Yeah.
confident in who you are and you see this person like this gentleman saw you, he actually saw you beyond what how you saw yourself and what you seen in yourself. But he had to have the confidence in himself to come and tap you to let you know I'm going to give you this other, give you this opportunity because he wasn't intimidated because he knew his value and his worth. And again,
Yeah.
confidence, when people talk about it, it's a word that's thrown around. Confidence, confidence. You have to be confident. We tell people
Yeah.
what they have to be, but we never really tell them how to be that. And that's in
Ooh,
many specters.
yeah.
So when someone is talking about confidence, and again, the word, is used a lot, can you explain what confidence really is? Um,
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a nerd. So just representing anybody who's like, "Oh my goodness, he's gonna like really break it down," because this is what I do. But I was researching this topic, right? You got to be an expert in. Like, I found the
mhm,
word like confidere, right? Originally from Latin, so it means to trust.
Mm,
And trust is such an important thing, right? In every relationship, we have to
yeah.
trust. I'm married now for close to 16 years in a few months. There's a lot of trust that has to be built so that my wife is confident in me. I'm confident in her. We have two children together. We have to make sure that we move forward as that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
when we're thinking about confidence, and when I talk about this from the stage, one of the things that you brought up a great word about worthy, and a framework that I share with people is this thing I call WIN, win.
Mhm.
So worth, intentions, and network. And the worth is where we start. That's the foundation of it. Because
Yeah.
if I don't see myself, if I don't know who I am, if I'm not grounded and anchored into my identity, not what somebody else tells me, sure, outside validation, that's important. It's useful, but at the end of the day, it's me. It's me with me.
That's right.
Am I accepted of myself? Am I believing of my abilities, my talents, my gifts?
Mhm. Yeah.
And when we have confidence, I'll put it like this. Going back to sports, right? The NFL season just started. I'm a big sports fan. New York Giants, unfortunately, right now. But at
They're
the
not
end of
doing
the day, yeah, they're off to a great start. But there's 32 teams, right? There's 53 players on each roster. All these gentlemen have access to the same weights.
that.
They
Hmm.
have access to the same nutrition. They have access to the same type of level of trainers and coaching and all these resources. But yet, why is it that only one team wins at the end of the day? Why is
Yeah.
there only one champion? What's the separator? One, they believe that they deserve to have the championship. They
Mhm.
believe that they put in enough work, enough time, enough this, that yeah, we should have this. This is ours. We've bled for this. We've suffered injuries. We've rallied against with each other and rallied against other teams. We've shown resilience where times we thought, man, we're going to lose. This game is over, but
Mhm.
somehow we come back to win. That happens as a result of repetitive
Yeah.
and consistent action.
Hmm.
If you're somebody who says, well, I want to be the best speaker in the world, I want to be the best coach, I want to have the number one podcast, I speak once and I never get on stage again for like another 2 years. Well, it's hard to build that up when you don't put yourself on the field, you don't
That's
get the
right.
reps.
Yeah.
And
That's
you have to be, and I say this often with my friends, like, are you have a choice to make. You could either look good, right? Have the appearance, be impressive,
right.
and do
Hmm.
all these things, or you can get better and be messy, potentially be embarrassed, humiliated, and in those spaces, that's
Yeah.
actually where you learn the most.
That's so
I've
true.
bombed on stage several times, but you know what happens? I'm never going to feel like that again.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to prepare myself? What do I need to say? Who do I need to be in order to not have this kind of
Right.
result again? And knowing that I can do that and I can repeat that and that I have a process that supports me.
Hmm.
I can show up and it's like, all right, you know what? I've done the work. I've said the words. I've done X, Y, and Z. I'm ready to go.
Hmm. Preparation. And then, again, as you said, when we do the small things, little steps leads to bigger steps, leads to bigger opportunities. And preparing for those roles, no matter how small, no matter how large, we should approach it the same way with the same zeal that we would if we're speaking to one person or 1,000 people. We should prepare the same way. And that way, again, it is building that confidence to get up on stage because I'm a speaker, but when I first started, and I'm fairly new, it was crippling to me. And because I did not have the confidence that I could up in front of a group of people, it didn't matter whether it was 5 people or 50 people or how many, it was crippling to me. But again, I had not done the work to build that confidence and remind myself that you were invited in this space. Someone saw something in you and
Yeah,
they feel that you have value to give to these people that have come here to listen to you. And so, again, just doing things, taking action, and building up that internal image of who you are so that it matches the outside. And of course, I'm an image consultant, so I'm going to ensure that you not only look good, but that you feel good in whatever it
yeah,
is that you're doing. I know that external appearances gives us fleeting confidence. we can look away, we can be dressed to the nines, and you'll get a compliment like you said, and it makes us feel good. Our instantly we're walking tall, our chest is out like a peacock. But then if we're not confident with inside, with who we truly are, then we're feeling like a fraud. At some point we begin to feel like a fraud, so that confidence instantly, it goes away. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what you're looking like, what you have on, what room you're in. So I like that your win uh, acronym. So did we talk about the networking aspect of that? So the network, the community, and how that
Mm.
helps us to build confidence. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. What I would say is nothing great is built alone. I've
Mm-hmm.
been fortunate where I've had opportunities to create events and build communities. And I joke with people like, hey, this is, when people give compliments after, it's like, hey, this is so great. Thank you for doing this. Like, yeah, I represent, I'm the face of this,
Mm-hmm.
but know that behind the scenes that
Wow.
I needed this person to help me. I need to rely on this other
Yeah,
individual. And it's actually useful for me because so many people have different gifts and talents that I don't have.
that's right.
Right. I
Yeah.
remember in end of 2021, going into 2022, myself and three other coaches, we created a 1 day event. Some person was really great with logistics and handling the hotel and getting this book. I was really great at the organizational piece of, all right, who tracking the attendees, tracking ticket sales, enrolling people, doing the actual sales. Other people talk being visionaries, right? So all of us coming together for one common goal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that kind of ties into like the I piece, the intention, like the commitment part, but the network is so useful. I'm a member of NSA Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
NSA the Carolinas chapter. I'm a member of a regional Toastmasters group, and every time I show up for a meeting or a gathering, I take away something. There's something that
Yeah.
I didn't know before that, and I think if anyone who's in their space, if you can look for the gold in what somebody else is saying, if you have people around you that are up to something, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
like if they're moving on a path. My mom, rest her soul, she used to say that birds of a feather flock together. So
That's right.
are you flocking with the eagles or are you flocking with ducks? Are you
Yeah.
people just kind of waddling around trying to drift and just get
Mm-hmm.
by? Or are you with people like who are soaring, who are really taking
Yeah.
serious, decisive action and making things happen?
That's
That's the
right.
choice we have.
And that's who you want to be around. And then that community and that network, that's how success happens. Like you said, we can't do it alone. If anyone is out here saying that they are, they're on their a level of success, whatever success is for them, and they're speaking as if they've done it alone, it's just not true. You have
Yeah,
relied on someone at some time to help you get to where you are. Whether again
right.
that's community, whether that's a coach, whether that's just someone, a mentor, or just a friend telling you, well, maybe you should do this. Maybe giving you some small advice that maybe you don't value at that moment, but I guarantee you that if you look back and just think about the advice and the information that you were given along the way, those people are a part of your success.
Yeah. Think about it this way, Jenny. How many people does it take for you to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich? Most people would think, oh, it's just me. I just, get the bread off the fridge and, I do like, well, did you forge the steel to make the knife? Did
Right.
you build the yeast? Did you package it? Did you get the peanut butter? You stomp it on and get the oil? Like, it takes
That's
a lot of people to make just a simple meal.
sound. Yeah, didn't think about that, and that's good. That's a good analogy of that. So, Alex, if someone were listening to you, they're suffering or battling, confidence, not knowing how to build that confidence, and we all struggle with it. Not one person has not struggled with confidence at some point, and it really doesn't matter how confident you perceive yourself as. There are going to be moments, especially when you're stepping into new spaces, that you might have a little issue with feeling confident. So if they wanted to reach out to you or connect with you to learn more about what you do, how would they be able to do that?
Yes, too easiest place to someone to connect. One, my website, speakeralexdumas.com, or I'm on LinkedIn, Alex Dumas, see the face, hear the voice. If you connect with me, you'll likely see either a video message from me or an audio message. So it's not a
Mhm.
bot, it's not AI, it's like fake, deep faking
Thank
me.
you.
But yeah, those are the two places that you can connect with me the easiest and fastest.
Okay, perfect. So that is going to be Alex at speaker. I'm sorry. Oh,
Oh yeah, that's the email. So if you want to email me too, I actually read the email, so you can
okay.
email me as well. But on LinkedIn, just whatever the underscore is, Alex Dumas. That's
Okay.
me, and then my website, speakeralexdumas.com.
Gotcha. Got you. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and talk to Alex a little bit more about confidence and how you can build your confidence to help you elevate your life and your career. One in just a second. You're not just building a career, you're building a reputation and that of your business. At People Power Consultancy, we coach ambitious professionals to refine their image and shape a personal brand that opens doors. Because the way you show up is your message. If you're tired of blending in, second-guessing your presence, or feeling unseen, this is your moment to stand out with purpose and polish. Visit peoplepowerconsultancy.com to start your transformation. Your next level has a look. Let's define it. All right, welcome back. All right, Alex. So we left with you're talking about how to get in touch with you for one, and we were talking about the WIN acronym. Tell us
Yeah,
again what the WIN stands for. What
yeah, yep, no problem. Yeah, wins for worth, as in your self worth. I intentions, and net N for network.
in for network? And so, how would you tell somebody what it really takes to win? I know you're saying, and we talked about it a bit, but you're saying
Mhm.
worthy, intention, and network.
Yeah.
How can one combine all of those components and use it in one way, in just one simple way to win?
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go back to this story that I just shared earlier about this event, this one day event that myself and a couple of our coaches created. Our intention at the start of it was to create this event to pay off a coaching fee, right? So that was the focus, that was the target, the goal, so to speak. And that goal changed. That goal actually expanded we, when our coach basically laid out to us, you know what, I want you to raise the same amount of money, but rather than paying me, I want you to donate it to charity. I want you to give it away. So that shifted the energy, because a lot of the approach that I was taking was, hey, come to this event. But in the back of my mind is like, hey, help me out, help bail me out. I'm in over my head. I need
Yeah.
a handout, like more poets, sir. Please help me. Right. That was that's where I was coming from. That's where I was being. Once we made that shift to donate to charities,
Mm-hmm.
the conversation changed. Hey, this is who we're helping. We're looking to, we started telling the stories about these organizations, and we surpassed our goal. We shattered it, and then it became an offshoot. Other people ran with the idea, and it's been able to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for various charities. But how does that happen? We set an intention of this is what we're going to do, but that the intention grew, that expanded. I call it building a bigger bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But within that, we had to see ourselves as like, am I worthy to do this? Like, who's little old me to put on a big event? Like, I'm just
Yeah.
right. We start shrinking within ourselves. It's like, no, I'm actually capable of doing this. There's a reason why this individual or these people have tagged me as the go-to person for that. All right, I got to live into that. And then, as I mentioned, the network piece. Who's around me? What are the resources? Because if I try to do this all by myself, I'm going to be tearing my. I don't have any hair, folks, but I'm going to be tearing my hair out. I'm going to be messing up my stubbles, trying to think of how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Well, I don't have to think about it all. I don't have to do it all.
That's right.
Who's skilled in this area? Who's really great with graphics? Uh, who's detailed oriented? Right? Who has all the pieces that I don't quite? I'm not as strong at.
Mm-hmm.
When I can stay in my lane and do what I do, oh, this is fun. It gets easy. It's exciting, and at least in my case, I didn't wind up feeling drained or wiped out. I'm like, man, I can't wait to do this again. So
Because
for
yeah.
for your question, what does that win for that person, right? What is that thing that is bigger than them, that bigger purpose? Because if we try to do things for just us, it's easy to lose steam. It's easy to lose energy. Like, I'll put it off to tomorrow. But when someone else is counting on you, someone else is relying and dependent on you showing up. All
Yeah.
right, I'm not going to let the team down. I'm not going to let you down. Jenny, we had this conversation. We had the tech issues. I'm not going to let you down just because the tech glitch is happening. What's the other option? All right, I got a phone. I got an earpiece. Let's make it happen, and we're
Yes.
going to get creative.
Yeah, and we did, and it's working. But the meaning behind our work, like you said, if you were doing this seminar or what have you alone,
Mhm.
there's no way you could have gotten it done, everything that needed to be done. And then even if you were capable of doing all of those things, of course, a team is always going to be necessary. And then the story that behind what it is you're doing, people want to connect with the story of what we're doing, and they want to be associated with someone that's doing meaningful work. Even in my work, when I'm working with clients, for me, it's meaningful. It's not just dressing someone. It's not just telling someone what their personal brand should look like and feel like. It's meaningful for me because I put my whole heart into it. So people want to know that there is a real there's heart in what we're doing. And that's going to bring a connection to you as well. And also, when those connections come, again, it all ties back to confidence at the end of the day. Confident enough to bring people in, to assist in what needs to be done. Confident enough to show your heart to those that we serve so that we can serve on an authentic level. And I think that confidence, it goes beyond, of course, it's a part of everything that we do, but confidence in leadership,
Yeah.
being able to lead and not be intimidated by the team or by those that you have to lean on for help, or not having enough confidence again to reach back and pull someone up that may have the same skills as you but have not been recognized for that. But for someone to reach back and pull someone up and say, hey, like you said, I think you'll be great for this role, because that's confidence. Can you talk a little bit about how to lead with confidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I was going to say for your work, I would imagine that the clients you work with, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining that before working with you, they might feel good, but then something after, something twinkle in their eye, they see themselves different because you're able to extract that
Absolutely.
gold from them, right? And
Yeah.
for leaders, I'm gonna say 3 scary words, right? So some of y'all are gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, earmuffs! I don't want to hear that." But these are gonna be the most powerful words that will help you create a really thriving culture. It's I don't know.
Mm.
What do you
That's
mean? I'm supposed to know it all. No, no, no. You're not supposed to know it all. You have a vision, you have an idea of what things could look like. Now it's your job to put the pieces in place. Some people might say, oh, you're manipulated. No, I'm not. I'm creating. I am allowing people to be their best in
yeah.
different spaces. And let's look at it like this, Jenny, real quick. This is another fun analogy. Get back to sports. How many championships has Michael Jordan won by himself?
Not one. Not one.
Not one.
No.
LeBron James hasn't won a championship by himself. Dwayne Wade never won a championship. Kobe, rest in peace, never won by himself. What did it take? It took somebody who can get rebounds. You need an enforcer. I need a spot up shooter. I need somebody when I pass him the ball 40 to 50% of the time, that's going in the net. I need somebody who's a great defender, right? All these people play their play their roles. But the thing is, as a leader, are you encouraging and acknowledging enough that they played at the highest level?
Yes.
Because back to what I said, there's 32 teams in the NFL. I know we jump between NBA and basketball, but take your given sport, right? There's all these teams, and somebody out there you see, watching, it's like they're not giving it their all. They're just here for the paycheck. They're just showing up just to
Sure.
for what? There's no meaning behind it. Meanwhile, you see somebody else who's diving into the crowd, right? Who's jumping over to fumble, and you love players like that. You love somebody who's willing to sacrifice. And
Yeah.
as a leader, are you willing to sacrifice your ego? Are you willing to sacrifice looking good in order to get better?
That's right. That's good. That was really good. And when you talk about the basketball and Michael Jackson, not Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, he had to depend on and rely on people too.
Listen, all the MJs.
All of them, they have to rely on people too. But I often say, because I was a Bulls fan for many, many years. The three-peat had the three-peat T-shirt and all of that type of thing.
I hated him. I'm a Knicks fan from New York originally, so like it
Oh,
seeds into my soul to even acknowledge him. But I gotta
mhm.
recognize greatness is what it
Yeah, so
is.
I'm from Ohio, and Chicago was in Indiana too, but I chose the Bulls. And I know that Jordan was great, but he had Scottie Pippins, he had Grant,
Yeah,
so there's people he had to be able to pass that ball and trust that the people
yeah,
on his team were going to help him get to the goal, get to the finish line. But again, no one can do it by ourselves. We all have roles. We all have
yeah,
things that we are great in, though we may know all the things, but we're not great at all of them. And some things we just don't know. So enough, being confident enough to say, like you said, I don't know. That's strength. That's strength, and it's going
yeah.
to be necessary to set us up for success. Um, this has been really, really good. So if you've given a lot of nuggets, but if you just had one more that you can give to the listening audience about confidence and how they can use it to their benefit daily, or even what they could do to help build that confidence on a daily basis. We know small steps, they always work, consistency work, but what else could you add to that?
Yeah, for sure. I would just add 6 words, right? Very simple. Your story matters, your voice matters.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can really internalize that and recognize that, like, I have something to say, I have value to add, it gets less scary. And I'm not saying it's going to eliminate it perfectly, like, oh, I'm going to be confident tomorrow. Like,
Mm-hmm. No,
it's a practice,
the
it's
process.
preparation. You're
Mhm.
practicing. So Allen Iverson, right back to sports, practice. We're talking about practice, yes, practice. If I, as a speaker, I want to be a speaker for years, but I just sat on the sideline like, oh, I don't know if I have anything to say. Gee golly, maybe one day.
Yeah.
And then I got this opportunity of like, okay, we're gonna do this thing. So what do I have to do? All right, what am I gonna say when I'm up there? I can't just, all right, welcome to event.
Right. And then what?
Nothing else. And then what, right?
Hmm.
Practice, prepare. Your story matters, your voice matters.
It does, most definitely. And I have a guide that I would like to offer to my audience, and it'll help you build confidence. And again, not just how you show up, but how you see yourself. So if you want to download a copy of my guide, it is called Why Image Matters, Why You Should Care. You can visit the website and get your copy of that as well. It helps you to prepare, not just for your career, but a little bit about life too. It's all intertwined. So feel free to download that copy. And again, Alex, if someone wants to get in touch with you, they can get in touch with you on LinkedIn at Alex Dumas. They
Yep.
can, your at speaker Alex Dumas is your YouTube.
Yes. Yeah. That's
And
a YouTube channel I've been building up, and the email. Yeah, the email is right there. I'm responsive to that, and my website, speakeralexdumas.com.
gotcha.
And my daily podcast. If you want to just have some daily 3-minute bites of some inspiration, some
Mhm.
funny stories from time to time, you can tap into that too.
Wonderful. Do you have anything coming up that you'd like to share with the listeners?
Yes, for sure. So September 27th, that is a Saturday.
Hmm.
Myself and several other speakers, leaders are going to be at a conference called Podcasters Rock. It's going to be in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So Sonia Keefe, she's the curator of this event. I've been
Hmm.
selected as one of the speakers, and it's going to be a fun, jam-packed day for anybody who is in the podcast and a broadcasting space. And
Awesome.
we're going to be talking about all these different things about speaking, about monetizing your value, about controlling your intellectual property and amplifying your message into the world. So my talk is going to be amplifying your voice. I can't wait to join y'all. If you are going to come to Virginia, tap in. I'm from North Carolina. This could be a fun day. It's a full day from 8 to 4. About 8 to 4.
Hmm.
And Podcasters Rock is going to be great. I'll send you the link, so if anybody wants to register, we still have some tickets available, and
Okay.
can't wait to see y'all.
Wonderful. It's going to be good. I've listened to one of your podcasts, and your voice and your energy, it's amazing. So you all listen to Alex as well. And again, just want to say that if anyone here is listening and not sure how to start your journey of building confidence, again, it just takes one step, but it takes consistently in those steps. take you to be consistent in those steps. It's a muscle. It's not something that happens overnight, and you have to believe that you can, and then your confidence will build upon that. So until next time, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me, Alex, and we'll see you soon.
Much appreciated. Thanks, Jenny. Stay blessed, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to the Image Connection Show. We truly appreciate you being here. We hope you'll join us again. And don't keep it to yourself. Invite a friend to tune in too. If you're ready for more insightful tips, tools, and strategies to help you enhance your image, brand, and help you on your entrepreneurial journey, this is where you want to be. Until next time, keep showing up with purpose, presence, and power. I'll see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Take care.